Ever wonder what it really takes to break through barriers and achieve your goals? Well, I've been there, facing challenges, facing loss, bullying, failing exams, you name it. But what made all the difference when I look back in reflection were the habits I developed along the way and the decisions I was graced to make. So in today's video, we're going to be unpacking some of those decisions that you can make too to help you stay productive, stay focused, and most importantly, keep you thriving despite whatever season you find yourself in. Rome wasn't built in a day, but they laid a brick every hour. But most of us don't complete that quote. So success isn't just about luck. It's about the right habits you make day by day. People don't decide their future. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. So let's get into some of the habits you can build today that can take you and keep you on that upward trajectory where your day only gets brighter and brighter. My name is Dami, if you're new here, and I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl that loves to get better. I want to be all that God has called me to be, and I want to take you along that journey too. I'm a pharmacist by profession. I've been a pharmacist for the last 3 years, and outside my scope of work, my life is rich, and I can say that confidently. It's not always been that way though. I grew up in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, and moved to the United Kingdom. I was determined that I wanted to be a doctor because I was just like, well, if nobody thinks anything of me, then I'm just gonna have to like add value to myself and just help other people out. But lo and behold, I didn't get my grades and I sobbed like only Jehovah knows. I ended up going to study pharmacy. In the middle of that, I also flopped some of my exams, but by the special grace of God, I finished my degree, finished my training, and now I've been practicing as a pharmacist. I've been so blessed with my community, with great quality relationships, with a home, with a husband, and by the grace of God, the story just keeps getting better. Even in the midst of challenges that still come day by day. These decisions and habits that we're going to talk about today have helped me thus far over the years, and I'm sure they will help you too. So let's get right into it. First one is choosing to invest in myself. Based on the story I just told, you would think I had no room to invest in myself. I could have chosen to just wallow in tears and just wallow in the depression of nobody thinks I'm cool, nobody thinks I'm all that, which I did sometimes, most times. I remember in secondary school, someone told me that I sang like a dying cat because I just enjoyed music and I chose to pick music as one of the subjects that I took in school. People were just not having it, and to be honest, I don't blame them. Back then I could not sing, still learning how to sing, but that comment really ate deep, and that was just one of many comments that I heard about myself growing up. And by the mercy of the Lord, it didn't have a negative effect on me. And I believe to think that he helped me to just choose in every moment to use those comments to empower myself and to invest back in myself. So now there are many things I believe I've done to invest in myself, and I still choose to do that till today. So with that example, I couldn't sing. So I made sure that I learned how to sing. So whether that is watching YouTube, joining the choir, music classes, I was intentional about being able to get better at singing. Likewise, when I felt like I wasn't smart enough, I was intentional about getting smarter because I was like, nobody is born in this picture that I'm seeing them. I can get there, and I don't know where I got that but the Lord. These are just minor examples. One of the major ones that obviously you're watching on today is investing in my dreams. So I started YouTube when I became a student in first year of university. So I would say I have a degree in pharmacy and also like tech, I don't know. So I bought a camera, lights. I remember that Christmas of after I started uni in September, I chose to take out a student loan because obviously I didn't have money. I only just started working and things were more expensive than my salary. But I was like, I believe this is just who I want to be. This is where I believe my passion lies. And I chose to invest in myself. Now, to some, it might have been a waste of money. To others, I don't know. But up until today, I still have that camera. I only just changed my camera a couple of weeks ago. So I've been using that same camera for this YouTube channel, and beyond YouTube, I've had many projects that have allowed me to be in front of the camera, allowed me to even be behind the camera. And that was all down to the decision I made to invest in my dreams, invest in myself then. And it's not just about buying the product, also just learning. I've spent hours on YouTube learning about how to edit. Back then, YouTube wasn't what it is now. It was something completely different. different. Content creating was just, I guess, starting. So for me, it was truly an innate desire. It was truly a passion that I had. I wasn't sure where it was going to go, but I just wanted to grow and learn in that area. When people say pay yourself first, it's not just the money, it's the time, it's the decisions on how you are building yourself to be better. If nobody bets on you, bet on yourself. You are the one that puts the value on yourself, not the world. If you're going to depend on the world to put value on you, sorry. So choose to invest in yourself. It's so important. And I keep, by the grace of God, making that decision today to always invest in myself, in my dreams, what I believe is me. Do that. Choosing to invest in yourself looks very different for various different reasons. I talked about singing, music here. I've talked about camera. I've invested in myself via traveling. I've invested in myself in my looks, in terms of learning how to do makeup, learning how to do hair, learning how about my skin. All of those things are all contributing back to building yourself. So investing in yourself should be one of your major priorities as you get older. The second decision was choosing to invest in others. I call it the habit of volunteering. I was introduced to this habit firstly just growing up in church and just serving in church, but officially I was introduced to this when I took on this program that I did in school called the Duke of Edinburgh, and part of the objectives in attaining that award is volunteering. And I went from the bronze award to the gold award throughout my time in secondary school. It wasn't really about the volunteering, but what I found was the habit of giving part of your time to something else beyond you, something else that you either believe in or you just want to serve other people in another area. It's fulfilling. Life isn't just about you. Even in this upward trajectory of success that we're talking about, it's lonely if it's just about you. So on the journey there as well, on the journey learning, choose to invest in others, whether that is, mentoring other people, discipling other people, whether that is volunteering at an organization, whatever that may look like. Just commit a part of your time to doing that in service to others. If you're not sure where to start from trying to give 10% of your time or 5% and building it up onto others, to another organization, to helping out, to serving. You don't know what's just going to be born out of that. So many things I have discovered about myself came through volunteering. If I didn't volunteer at church, I would not gotten better in singing. If I didn't volunteer in the charity shops, then I would not have been able to build relationships with people and customer service. Within serving the church, I've been able to develop insane skills that are helping me in my workplace. So serving others, you just don't know what's going to come out of it, and it's always most likely going to be positive when you are giving of yourself. It's fulfilling, not that you're expecting anything in return. It just tells you so much more about yourself beyond your work, beyond your school, just beyond your regular environment. Challenge yourself to give in a different way, time-wise. It would definitely keep dispensing the dose of fulfillment throughout your journey. The third decision that I've made, and you can make too, is to build systems. What is a system, you may ask? It's a process for predictably achieving a goal based on specific, ordinary, repeatable principles and practices. Systems leverage your time, money, and so on. A life without system means the person undertakes every activity and challenge from scratch. John Maxwell. Systems permit ordinary people to have extraordinary results predictably. However, without a system, even extraordinary people find it difficult to predictably achieve even ordinary results. So having a system in place is one of the best ways you can guarantee extraordinary results, because without a system, you're basically thinking from scratch every time. But building systems in place, having routines in place, means that you can get yourself to flow and build rhythms that then become natural to you, that then allow you to do the work that is required for getting certain results. It's one thing to set goals. It's another thing to break that down into action steps and using those action steps to build systems that allow you to implement those action steps on a daily or regularly. So for me, having a routine over the years has helped me. It doesn't have to be perfect in the beginning. You just have to set your mind to having one and then refine it as your life changes, as circumstances change. But have a system. Have a system for how you want to read. Have a system for how you want to exercise, have a system for how you want to invest in yourself. If you do YouTube, for example, what system is in place for allowing you to do that? Whatever your passions are, whatever you want to work at, whatever you want to become better at. It's not just I want to be fit. It's not just I want to eat healthy. What are the systems I'm going to put in place that would then make it easier for me to have this extraordinary result by just doing these things regularly and consistently? Again, nothing happens suddenly. Sudden success is not a thing. It's about the habits that have been repeatedly done, consistently done, refined over time, that then produce extraordinary results. It just allows you to get things done without thinking too much. To you, it might not seem like a lot, but because you are in the rhythm of doing these things, because you're getting them done regularly, it's the power of compound interest. System allows you to be compounding in your habits, and the power of compounding is beyond what I can explain in this video. We can talk about that in another video. But the power of compounding, whether that's in your money, in your habits, always produce exponential results. Always seeking out a guide. You can also call this a mentor, but a guide doesn't always have to be a guru, because sometimes when people say have a mentor, we're thinking someone up there, someone so far away, but just think of it as a guide, finding a guide. I thank God for the ability to always just search out people that I believe would be useful for whatever I'm trying to do, whether that is when I was buying my house, when I was about to start uni, when I was about to get married. I'm that person that would be like, I need to come to your house for like 2 hours. Not 2 hours, that might be a bit excessive, but literally, if I can see someone that is ahead of me that can guide me down that path, you better hold them. You better hold them. What I've found as well is, obviously, it's great when those people are around you, when those people are close to you, but it doesn't always have to be the person around you in your community. We have the internet these days that exposes us to so many different people. The danger there is you don't really know their whole life, but usually the people that I use as a guide, I've followed them for a long time. But if you can find someone around you, I'm grateful to God for my community, especially my church community, where I get to see a whole bunch of people of different ages having done different things that are way further from where I am in life at the moment. People don't know what you need unless you say. So when I am looking for something, when I'm needing advice, when I'm needing wisdom, I'm going to book an appointment. I'm going to say, can I have some of your time? Can you meet me for coffee? Obviously, most people are busy, but if you're persistent, if you are clear with what you want, what your goal is, most people are more than willing to help. So find a guide. The wisdom of black and blue, you don't have it because you've not gone through that experience before. And the thing about that is, don't find guys from people that are not where you want to be. Obviously, everybody can give a good piece of advice, but follow the people that have walked the path. Not that they haven't achieved in their life, but this is similar to the picture that I am following. So this is the person I'm going to ask. Don't go and ask someone on path C when you're trying to be on path A. It might work, but it might not be as effective as if you find someone that is doing what you are doing. So if I was to ask someone for a business advice today, I better go to someone that's in a content business advice. I'm not going to go to someone that's in a different kind of business. You're faced with different factors. Likewise with marriage, you're not going to ask marriage advice from somebody that is not married or someone that is only a few months or a few years into marriage. I mean, they can give you some tips if they're a few years, but yeah, find people that have like walked the path. It doesn't always have to be someone that at the end of the journey. It doesn't have to be, again, let's say with business, it doesn't always have to be someone that is 50 years into it. Have someone that is 30 years, someone that is 20 years, someone that is 10 years, someone that is even closer because they're closer to you and your time now that is going through it. Out of all of the advices and the guides that you get, then you ask the Holy Spirit for which one you should run with. But I've found over the years, unbeknownst to me, that I have always, by the grace of God, sought out guidance, sought out counsel, sought out just wisdom before I take that step. And it's always proven to be super, super, super duper helpful. You don't have to make the mistakes if others have made the mistakes already. That leads me seamlessly into my next point, which is prioritizing education. And when I say education, I'm not talking about another degree. I'm not talking about another qualification or certification. Yes, those may be good if you're in that career path, but actual life education. What has definitely helped me over the years is prioritizing education beyond what I've been taught at school, whether that is listening to podcasts, whether that is reading books. I might not do enough of it, but engaging in those things in some sort of way just allows your mind to be open, allows you to learn. People put their best ideas into books. People put their best ideas into their podcast if it's educational. So prioritizing education in whatever area that you're trying to develop yourself in, just find other resources to expand your knowledge in that area and grow in that area. So for me, prioritizing education out with my degree has allowed me to be so wholesome that most of the times, most people actually don't think I work or they don't think I'm a pharmacist. And I think that's because I have knowledge in other areas that I have built that nobody taught me at school, but we thank God for the internet. We have so much resource around us, which can be good or bad. Don't just use it to scroll, use it to your advantage. Whatever you want to learn, you can actually learn on the internet and then maybe get specialized knowledge later. Your education should not stop at graduation. If anything, that is where it should begin, because school and the system of school doesn't actually prepare you well enough for life. You wonder why people with PhDs or the most highest degrees still are living paycheck to paycheck or not having found fulfillment in life. It's because that's not where it's at. You can learn those things to be an expert in an area that you want to be, but there's so much more in building yourself that you're blocking yourself out of if you stop educating yourself after graduation. Seek to know, seek to just expand in your mind, and you would see the benefits when you speak, when you're about to make choices, how you approach certain things. There's a certain way I work that I've only been able to develop in that system because I learned about this whilst I was at uni. The next point is learning about money. Again, relating back to prioritizing education, money and the handling of money is not taught well enough at school. Most of what I know about money today, I learned. I don't recall being taught anything in secondary school, in primary, in university. All they taught is how to count money. What is 1 + 1? What is 2 + 2? Most of what I know about money and handling my money today is about what I learned on the internet, and it's been proven to be so helpful, whether that is learning about taxes, whether that is learning about companies, whether that is learning about investing, saving. Learn about money. Money should be a tool, not something that it makes us a slave to. The only way you cannot be a slave to money is when you understand money, when you are growing in your knowledge of how to handle it, how to grow it, how to use it. It just changes your whole perspective on money and how to handle it, because we're all dealing with money. So it's so important to know how to handle it. If I didn't learn what I learned about money when I learned about money, and I'm still learning about money, I don't think I would have made certain decisions I have made today and I'm making and I'm still growing in. I don't know how. I think the Lord just truly helped me. I remember when I was first starting to train as a pharmacist, a couple of months before that, I knew obviously I was going up in pay from being a student part-time to now, training as a pharmacist. So I knew that I have to spend this time really learning about the money that's about to come into my hands, because once it comes into my hands, it's gone if I'm not going to learn about how to handle it. So learn about money. So many podcasts, so many videos, so many articles, so many blogs that teaches you about how to handle your money, especially within your country. You can find many articles about other countries and whatnot. You'll find that there's so many resources when it comes to the dollar and how to handle American money, and maybe not the United Kingdom, because Brits are just not as open with money, but there's still resources. Much better now than it was before. So talk about money, ask about money, ask questions. I even have a group chat called Road to Financial Freedom with some of my friends, because you find that not everybody's interested in learning about these things. So the people that are, speak to it with them, because when you all learn together, you all grow together, and it won't just be you that's at the top when you're handling money seamlessly. So you want to learn about money so that money doesn't keep you captive. And the sooner and earlier you learn about it, much better for your livelihood, for your work life. My next point is investing in quality relationships. Investing in quality relationships. As I said in the beginning, I've gone through different stages, different phases, different types of people, from school to uni and now, and I'm still growing obviously, but investing in quality relationships is so fulfilling. It's just fruitful. I spent so many years, so much time trying to please people that were just not needed in my life. And likewise, when people were bullying me, when people were talking down on me, and I was trying to, show them that I was worth not doing that to. It's so not worth it. So find the relationships that are for you. Find the people that are truly into you, people that love you, people that want to see you do well, people that you want to see do well. Invest in quality relationships. For me, for the longest time, I thought I'm not really doing great in this area. But by the grace of God, when you experience these things, you decide how you are going to react to it. So for me, with every challenge in the area of relationships, I saw it as an opportunity of how to improve myself and how to get better. And because of that, when I then finally stayed true to myself, to my actual personality and who I am, the likes that I like, the dislikes I dislike, not trying to fit in and be like, I like this thing when I actually don't, or I dislike this thing when I actually don't. When you stay true to yourself, you would attract the people that are truly for you, and then choosing to cherish those relationships because the streets are red, whether that's in friendship, whether that's in relationships. So when you find good people, when you find good acquaintances, good friends, good family members, not every family member is good, unfortunately, but when you find good people, choose to stick around, choose to invest in them, because those quality relationships, those are the real luxuries of life, not the money, not the supposed success at the end. The journey is the destination. So the people that are journeying with you, you want to make sure that it's quality relationships. Any relationship that is just staggering, that is zapping you of energy, that is making you conform, whatever it may be, let it go. Let it go. There's so many more people in the world, and it gets better. As far as you're getting better, as far as you're adding value to yourself, you're improving yourself, you're staying true to yourself, the right people you would attract, and you would be able to spot them. Because of my friends today, because of my husband, I am able to do so much more. I'm just whole by the special grace of God when it comes to relationships. And I only pray that it only continues to get better. You want to have people that you can cry with, people that you can laugh with, people that you can unashamedly say the things you're struggling with, the things that you're growing with. Find people that are like-minded, and it's just seamless. When opposites are trying to walk together, it's just tiring. And honestly, relationships can be so draining, so tiring. And when I'm talking about relationships, I'm not talking about just romantic. I'm talking about both platonic and romantic relationships. They can be so draining because they take so much of your time, and human relations are so important. So you want to make sure that it's right. You want to make sure that it's quality. You want to make sure that it's for you. Now on to the second to the last point, that is truly the icing on the cake. Actually, it's not the icing on the cake. It's the cake itself. It's the foundation of everything that I've discussed. You can do everything and not do this one, and life will not be fulfilling, because this is where my peace flows out of, this is where my joy flows out of, and that is giving my life to Christ. Making the decision of giving my life to Christ is single-handedly the best decision I have ever made. It is that decision where I struck gold, and it isn't because I found Christ, it's because he found me. God is our creator. He knows the best plan for you. He says, for the plans I have towards you, they are plans of good and not of evil, to give you an expected end. It would be so tiring, so unfulfilling to try and do life without the one that created you, without the one that has the manual on how to live life best. I thank God for his love. He loves me, he loves you, and I'm grateful for the saving grace that allowed me to give my life to him. Because I gave my life to him, I learned principles that I live by daily, that helps me daily. If I'm not living by it, I strive to live by it. Values that keep me rooted, that truly make me me, that truly make me that best person that I want to be. Everything pours out of there for me. That is the value. Jesus is more than gold for me. Jesus is my everything. He's the reason why, even if you don't have it all, even if you're still in the process of getting it all, you are still fulfilled. You are still at peace. You still have joy. You still have, words fail me. And it's not that you won't face challenges because you gave your life to Christ. It's that he's with you through it all, and you truly feel that sense of peace, that sense of eternity, that sense of life. Really, despite the seasons that you're going through, you know that if nobody else is there for you, Jesus is there for me. He sees it all. He knows it all. He's with me through it all. So it makes every high, every low worth it. It makes it purposeful. It doesn't feel like there's not an end to this thing, because I know the plans he has for me are good. And at the end of the day, I will be good. That knowing only came from knowing Christ and from giving my life to Christ. Because when all is said and done, even when you are successful here on earth, there is life ahead of this life, the eternal life. And what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul, where his soul is going to live forever? The world is too complex, too beautiful for it to just stop when you die. There's so much more ahead of that. Being able to guarantee your spot in heaven, who wouldn't want to secure a great eternal life? And Jesus is the only way. There's no amount of good that you can do to be saved or to get through the gates of heaven. It is through Jesus, because he was the one for all sacrifice. Because he died for us, we have been redeemed. We have been justified. Accepting him and accepting the sacrifice that he made is all he's asking for. And being able to have made that decision has truly, truly turned my life around. And I'm so, so grateful. And I pray that if you haven't made that decision yet, that you would be able to someday, hopefully sooner rather than later. If you want to know more, just drop me a DM and we can speak more about it. And finally, the last decision that I've made, and habit, I guess I can say, is to travel. This links back to the point of prioritizing education. I found that there's a difference between traveling and going on holiday and going on vacation. When people say, oh, welcome back from vacation, I didn't quite go on vacation. Traveling, I believe, is different from just sitting at a resort. I've actually never been to like an all-inclusive resort. I'd love to experience it one day, but I just don't think it's where I'm at the moment. Definitely maybe with kids and stuff, but traveling where you are going to meet the people that are there, immersing yourself in culture, seeing different things. Oh my goodness. The first time I traveled obviously was to the UK. That was a good exposure. But the first time I actually traveled was in 2016 when I went to India. And I did that on a Nigerian passport firstly. So I had to get visa and all of that. But that trip, though I hated it because it wasn't really what I was expecting, because I loved Bollywood. So I was expecting like Bollywood, but that's not the reality of India. But that was the first trip I took alone at 16. And it really just opened my mind to so much more that's out there. It's opened me to so many new connections. It's increased my net worth for sure. It's just opened my mind and exposed my mind to so many different things that has proven to be beneficial for me today. So many opportunities I've grabbed that I would not have known otherwise if I didn't leave my bubble and my comfort zone. So travel, I don't mean spend on expensive vacations. I mean travel. I mean, nowadays it's a bit more expensive than back then, but traveling doesn't have to be bank breaking. See it as an investment in yourself, investment in your mind, investment in your learning. The list can keep going on and on for different reasons, for different people, but these are some of the decisions and habits in reflection I believe that I have made and I continue to make that allows me to stay thriving. If you want to know more about how to keep on thriving, how to build those systems that help, check out this video here that takes you through the steps on how to build that productive morning routine, which inevitably allows you to win the day before the day even starts. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until next time, bye.